This is CBS LA Mornings.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, August 22nd. Welcome to CBS LA Mornings, streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Rachel Kim.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. We are not in a next weather alert anymore, but it's still pretty hot. Let's start off with a check of your next weather with Chloe Carlson. I just love that. Yes, it is hot.
I was like, what is that? Good morning. Hi, Alexi. I said, what is that? Whatever. All right, Chloe, thank you so much. Panic at a high school football game. Police respond to a call of shots fired during a game at Los Angeles Southwest College. High school teams King Drew Magnet and San Pedro, they were playing when people heard loud bangs. The crowd scrambled and the game was halted. Police from all over the area responded, and they tell us they found no shooting victims, but they will continue to investigate.
A 17-year-old boy is shot and killed at a high school football game in Bakersfield. The crowd scrambled out of the Independence High Stadium after the gunfire, and the opening game of the season was canceled. Bakersfield police say the shooting happened after some kind of fight at the game. The teenager was rushed to the hospital but died. His killer has not been captured.
New this morning, we're learning 2 people were shot overnight in South LA. Now, this is on Main Street in the Florence neighborhood. LAPD did not describe the victims, but said officers responded to a shooting call and found both victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Their condition not known right now, and it's still unclear what happened. Well, it was a wild day and night of police pursuits on Southern California freeways.
Now, there are 3 different chases: snarled traffic and endangered drivers. CBS LA's Elise Martinez live in the newsroom with details on the roadway mayhem. Good morning, Elise. I think it's a little calmer today, but what happened yesterday?
Good morning to you both, Rachel and Amanda. A speeding driver, 2 burglary suspects, and a biker who tried to play policeman in a chase on the 101. It ended with a crash into a cop car. We're going to tell you all about these chases. First, we're going to start with Kcal over that high-speed CHP chase of a driver wanted for speeding. This chase started in Ventura County and ended in LA County. The driver suddenly exited the 101 in Woodland Hills, pulled into a fast food parking lot, got out of his car, put his hands up, and surrendered. Minutes later, after that chase ended, this one started. LAPD officers going after burglary suspects in a blacked out SUV on the 110 southbound. The driver exits the freeway and crashes near Hoover and 53rd in South LA. The 4 suspects bailing out. Kcal spotted one of them running across the street with police not far behind. So far, no confirmation yet if any of these suspects have been captured. Now to the latest one. Wipeout on the freeway. This long chase ends with another burglary suspect crashing head-on into a CHP cruiser. This guy going the wrong way on freeways, playing chicken with a police car, hit an innocent driver and drove in circles on surface streets. This was a wild one. He was on the 101 and the 405 and all over the San Fernando Valley. The driver that he hit also was taken by surprise.
We had the green and the guy just came out of nowhere and we crashed him, or he hit us.
And at one point, the burglary suspect goes the wrong way down the 405 freeway in Mission Hills. Officers backing off because of safety concerns. The suspect even making a pit stop for gas. A motorcycle rider, this is where he enters the picture, deciding he's going to make the stop, but the suspect is having none of that. He drives through a parking lot in North Hills with a back flat tire, jumps back on the 405, flips another freeway U-turn, and then that's when he slammed into that CHP car. Half a dozen officers wrestled him to the ground. The officer that he hit had to be taken to the hospital for that. but he is going to be okay. And this morning, that motorcycle rider who decided to play policeman, he's facing criminal charges himself. He's charged with obstruction for trying to insert himself in that chase. We also don't know yet what connection, if any, he had to the driver. Still getting details on that. And of course, we're going to look in to see if any of those other suspects were arrested. Back to you.
All right, appreciate the update, Elise. Thank you. A terrifying escape. A tour bus on its way to Mexico catches fire along the 60 freeway.
And I turn to the back and I see the smoke and I start yelling to the people and to the drivers. The bus is on fire.
Investigators say the engine light came on, the bus driver pulled over, and moments later, smoke and flames started to fill that bus. 18 passengers were on board.
Like in seconds, nobody can see nothing.
With smoke, he had to hold on to the seats to make his way out the door. People were bumping into each other, flying on top of each other.
Now, one person did die. Passengers say it was an elderly woman who was traveling alone. Another person was treated for smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire under investigation.
President Trump campaigned in South Carolina for the late Lindsey Graham's sister, who is running to replace him after his death last month.
CBS LA's Wendy Gillette reports the president also got some good news on his ballroom from the Supreme Court.
Thank you. Thank you.
President Trump threw his full support behind Republican Senator Darlene Graham, who faces a runoff election Tuesday. He spoke at her campaign rally in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I think Lindsey respected Darlene more than any other person he knows, including me. That does not make me happy.
Graham is running against conservative Representative Ralph Norman to replace the late Senator Lindsey Graham on the November ballot.
They say I'm not a politician. Guilty as charged.
Some voters at the rally say President Trump's endorsement is important to them.
I'm here to support Darlene, and I'm also here, I want to see Trump.
Before the rally, President Trump spoke to reporters about the Supreme Court's ruling Friday, allowing work on his White House ballroom construction project to continue, at least temporarily.
We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the ballroom, and it's all from people like me and great companies that are putting it up. It's going to be close to $400 million.
The president is also threatening what he calls economic D-Day on Iran, starting as early as Monday. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
President Trump is rolling out a plan to lower record high beef prices, but it's already sparking outrage from cattle ranchers. The plan would allow up to 300,000 metric tons of ground beef to be imported tariff-free over 90 days. Trump says it will lower prices, but ranchers warn cheaper imports could hurt American producers.
Expect delays if you're traveling through the Sepulveda Pass this weekend. The 405 repaving project is back, and traffic will be reduced to 3 lanes between Ventura Boulevard and Mulholland Drive. Crews will upgrade guardrails and overhead signs.
Veterans are outraged after a life-size statue was stolen from a memorial dedicated to those who served.
CBS LA's Nicole Comstock is in Paramount to show us the damage.
Yeah, this is really upsetting to a lot of people in this community. And it was a really big statue, too, made of bronze, probably weighed at least a couple hundred pounds. You think it would be hard to cut this thing down. But sheriff's investigators say someone pulled right up to the street here and cut it down quickly, and apparently no one noticed. It's a place in Paramount where people can pay their respects to fallen soldiers who gave their lives in service of our country. But Tuesday night, thieves targeted the Armed Forces Memorial statue. They severed the life-size bronze soldier kneeling at a battle cross from its base. The city says in less than 4 minutes.
I'd kill him if I could, yeah.
Navy veteran Frank Walker isn't mincing words. He was a hospital foreman in Vietnam and says whoever did this has no idea what that sacrifice really means.
He needs to be drafted. He wouldn't last very long, but yeah.
We talked with him just down the street at American Legion Post 134 in Paramount.
We really need to support these vets, and you know that's a kick in the stomach for somebody to steal a monument like that.
A second kick in the stomach, actually. Last year, just before Memorial Day, someone sawed the bronze rifle off the statue. Because of that, the city of Paramount says it reinforced the statue and added better cameras and lights. But someone went after it again. this time taking the entire statue, estimated to be worth $100,000. The LA County Sheriff's Department is investigating, but they will not release video of the suspects.
I heard the tears of my grandmother with my uncles in Vietnam, ones that didn't come back.
Manuel Covarrubias comes from a military family and visits the memorial regularly. He says what happened here is a disgrace.
To hear the tears of my sister, that my nephew served in Iraq and Afghanistan, to hear those tears is a different cry.
The LA County Sheriff's Department says the security video they have is not very high quality, and so they can't make out the suspect's face or even what type of car they were driving, other than to say it was a dark car. So they are looking for the public's help on this one. Reporting in Paramount, Kcal Dt, CBS LA.
Governor Gavin Newsom is promoting a program aimed at helping families plan for their children's future. He's urging Californians to claim Trump Accounts, a program that offers $1,000 to babies born between 2025 and 2029. Some 7 million children have since been registered for the account. The governor, who often criticizes President Trump, called the program one of the best things he's done.
Here to encourage people to take advantage of this, to not fall prey to the politics or the cynicism or maybe even the fear that if I download a Trump account, somehow that means something. It doesn't. It just means something for your kid. It's not Trump's money. It's your child's money.
Governor Newsom is also highlighting the state's Kcal Kids account. He says 1 million California families have claimed accounts. Kcal Kids provides free funds for college or career training. The governor has also turned to businesses and philanthropists to help expand those funds to give more children a stronger financial start.
6:10 on your Saturday morning. Coming up, she couldn't wish for anything, but